when I was a kid, my uncle taught me all the shortcuts in Diddy Kong Racing, and he might have taught me all the words to Mix-a-Lots. I like big butts.
You'll never defeat Andros.
Technically, Star Fox did an aileron roll and not a barrel roll. They're different.
Welcome to the Council of Nerds.
The Council of Nerds.
Welcome. I'm Dan.
Well, welcome aboard.
Welcome, my lords and ladies and peasants.
Welcome to the Council
Welcome.
of Nerds. My name's Brian. Dan already introduced himself.
Jump the gun.
Because he's ahead of schedule. Logan just punched his microphone, and he's dabbing.
No.
But he's here. Hi, Logan.
Hi. I'm back.
We try to make these intros so organic, and they end up being the most awkward things on the phone.
Sorry, this just came to my head, and I wanted to bring it up because I haven't told anybody, and I thought it was funny, and I laughed about it to myself. The other day I was driving, and somebody had a rearview mirror thing hanging down, and it said it was the font. You remember Dare, the drugs are bad thing? So it was that font for Dare, and that's
what it stood for. Drugs are bad.
But it said D.A.B, like dab. And I don't know if it was drugs are bad, but I just imagine it's drugs are bad. And so now I'm like, drugs are bad. And then you just dab. I thought that was funny.
Gotta hit
Destroy all bacteria.
I have a funny story. Involving a dab. I went to Dan's sister's wedding not too long ago, and his new brother-in-law's dad gave a toast, and then at the end he asked if people still did two claps and a dab, and then he did two claps and a dab, and it was super funny because everyone in the crowd was like, yeah, and they just hit the dab super hard. It was so funny. It was the best moment of the whole wedding. It was fantastic.
Not the ceremony.
Minus the whole them getting married and being happy.
Another good moment. Someone said, when you guys get married at the wedding reception about 6 hours after they'd been married. That was pretty cool.
It was a classic moment, just to prove that we are friends outside of this. We do see each other.
Not me.
On occasion.
Yeah,
anyway,
we don't see.
I saw you a few months ago. You just never.
It's been a while. I do, but I just don't go to Utah. Anyway,
on the docket today, we are getting hecka nostalgic. Well, maybe not super nostalgic, but we're talking about the Nintendo 64.
Yes.
For me, it was probably that was aggressive. For me, it was probably the first console that I spent a significant amount of time really playing, because I think my parents regulated me more on the SNES and the NES systems because I was younger. Right. But 64, I just went to town. So
interesting. I did not. I mean, I did, but I think I played it moderately. I had 4 older brothers, and they, played the games. And they were better than me too at the games, obviously. Most of these games, I don't know when was the last time anybody really played a Nintendo 64, but those games are ridiculously hard for the most part. Not all of them, but the popular ones were very, very difficult, especially as a little boy.
There was definitely a steep learning curve, and if anyone to this day, anyone in the Discord or comments on YouTube or anything says that you beat Donkey Kong 64,
Liar.
I will
Liar.
Fight you. I will fight you because you're a liar.
I don't think it's possible. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's possible, but they wouldn't make a game that's impossible to beat. Well, actually, they would because the world is sad.
What?
Contra. That one was pretty hard.
Contra is really hard.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're diving into this. Nintendo 64 was released in the in North America, in the year 1996 in September. So happy anniversary to North American Nintendo 64 release September, and that's really amazing. So
and that's why they call it the 64 because it was released in '96.
Yep, that's exactly right. And I think, we're probably the only nerdy podcast that's giving the respects to Nintendo 64 for the month it was released in North America. So you're welcome, Nintendo.
Dan's trying to not have the fluid he drank go out his nose.
It was a good one though.
I wish we had video, but what can
I
you
always
do?
thought Nintendo 64 came out in
Um,
1964.
Me too when I was
crazy.
little. And I'm like, these are crazy
Yeah.
good graphics for 50, 40, however, I don't remember.
You can do it. It's simple math.
Math is hard.
All right. So let's. All right. I have like physically, I have 10 games. This many, 10 games to throw back. We're not going to talk about all
This
of them.
many? They can't see us, you
You
dweeb.
can imagine my hands being up and showing 10 fingers.
They're weird looking
Um,
hands. His fingers are all like bendy sideways and everything.
Okay. No need to take personal shots
Nightmare
at me.
fuel.
All right. Well, first game I got is NHL Breakaway 1998, a classic sports game. We're not going to talk about all these. We're just going to talk, say them.
Mention.
This is a classic that I don't know anybody who can successfully play this game, but Nagano Winter Olympics 1998. That's a classic. Very difficult.
Never
game.
heard of it.
Nope.
I
Never.
played it as an
No, me
adult,
either.
and I couldn't do anything correct, so I just quit and started playing Pokemon Snap again.
So your normal
Pretty
life
much.
then.
Mario Party 3,
Whoa.
fun game.
Best Mario Party.
Very fun one.
Best
Yeah,
Mario
very
Party.
good. I don't even know if it's mine, actually. I might have
Thief.
borrowed it and then
Thief.
never... Sorry. Another very difficult game. Star Wars Shadows of the Empire.
Ooh.
Very
That game.
difficult. If you don't remember it very well, there's a train. There's a part where you're on a train. You have to like a cowboy, jump on the train cars and fight at the same time.
It's really
So hard.
not easy.
This one, I don't know if it's popular, but 1080 is a snowboarding game. Super fun. I liked it a lot. It's actually still pretty fun. It's basically like Tony Hawk, but for snowboarding. One of my personal favorites, Pokemon Snap.
Whoa!
Such a good game.
Such a good game.
Man, and all of these... Oh, no. Okay. I was like, all of them are rated E for everyone, but that's not true. Because this one is Cruisin' USA rated KA for
I don't even know what
kids
that
to
means.
adults.
So everyone.
Which is interesting because at the very beginning of every race that you play in Cruisin' USA, and at the beginning there's like this girl wearing like a very short mini skirt. It's very provocative. And then at the very end, at the finish line, there's like all these like chicks wearing like bikinis and stuff. I think they're at the beginning too. Very, very not good for kids, I guess. Another classic and another personal favorite. Star Wars Episode 1, Pod Racing. It's not even called Pod Racing, though. It's just called, it's just called Star Wars
Racer.
Episode 1 Racer. Wow.
Nah, that's what I call
I gotta
it.
like
what I
use this
call
my entire
Racer.
life.
I think I
Yeah.
remember playing that.
Dude. You think? It's a great game. The game that Brian already mentioned, which if you say you beat it, you're a liar. Donkey Kong 64. So freaking difficult. In yellow. The
The
cartridge
yellow.
is yellow.
Cartridge.
For anyone who really cares. I think it's cool. Created by Rare, which also makes Sea of Thieves. Go and play Sea of Thieves. Great game. And then my absolute favorite game. I am the king of this game. I have witnesses that will say I'm the king of this game, and that is Star Fox 64. Amazing game, and I love it very much.
Top 3 64 game right there in
Oh, yeah.
Star Fox. Logan let me know that he has 3 witnesses that witnessed him play the first level with
Yes,
his
I do.
eyes
Yeah.
closed.
Whoa.
So
I can name those 3
that's
witnesses
pretty
too.
ridiculous.
First and last name, but I won't give their last names. I'll redact those. Nick, Steven, and Matt. All 3 of them.
Nick,
Yep.
Steven, and Matt, if you're out there,
Shout
I know
out.
Matt's not going to be listening
glad
to
that
this,
you witnessed
but
that.
Steven and Nick might.
well then
Forget
forget
you,
you.
Matt.
Matt.
don't
We
want
can't
you
trust
listening
his
anyway.
testimony.
Screw you.
I've never played Star Fox 64. So
Oh,
So Dan's life
Yeah,
sucks.
it's
basically.
so fun.
I thought it would be fun to go through and everyone take turns on like what some of their favorite
Let's go top 3
games
games.
were. Top
Yeah.
3 games. Okay. I will say I'm not gonna say Star Fox because you already said Star Fox,
You can.
but I'll say Banjo-Kazooie, probably my number one. I spent so many hours trying to beat Banjo frickin'
a great game.
Kazooie. And I never could. Never got anywhere near. I can't even remember the witch doctor's name. All I called him was Oogie Boogie because that sounded like what he did when he changed you into animals. But he'd go ooba blah blah
Wow.
ooba blah, and then you would like
I
turn into
completely
a
remember that.
animal. And my favorite level in Banjo-Kazooie was the swamp level because you got turned into a little crocodile, and it
I
was
don't
super
remember
cute. But if you were a crocodile, you could go around in the water and you wouldn't get et by like the piranha that were in the water. But if you were Banjo, you had to put on these boots.
Oh, I remember
like
that.
boots so that you could
Yeah.
get through it. And if you didn't, then they
That's
would bite
funny.
your feet. Sorry. Then I'd say number 2, Diddy Kong Racing, which actually was the first game that had Banjo in it, because that came up before Banjo-Kazooie did. But like I mentioned in our intro, my uncle taught me all the shortcuts to that game. At the same time, he taught me all the words to Sir Mix-a-Lot's "I Like Big Butts." So thanks for that,
Shout
Uncle
out.
Jared. And I still remember all of those. I don't remember the shortcuts, but I do remember the words to "I Like Big Butts."
That's impressive.
And I will throw out an obscure one for my number 3, and it was WWF's No Mercy. It was wrestling. That was when it was, and that was the WWE, but it was when it was the World Wrestling Federation before the World Wildlife Foundation got pissed and wanted WWF
yeah.
back. But it was the worst wrestling game on the planet. Like, you could just spam some dude in the corner, and it was ridiculous. But my cousins and I would play all the time, and my brothers too. It was a good time. Those are probably the 3 that I waste the most time with. But there's so many more that I loved and I played a ton of too. So
Nice. Yeah, those are good ones. Diddy Kong Racing is a classic for sure.
Is that the
Um,
one that had planes? You could also do like planes and
Yeah.
boats. Okay,
It
yeah.
had planes, boats, and
Yeah.
carts. The boats were like
Mhm.
bumper boats though. It was like inner tubes with
That's
like
right.
fans on the back
Man,
of
that
them.
game was
I hated the boat
that's a
levels
fun
though.
game.
I was good on plane. I was good on cart, but you put me in the water and I was like,
The
"F this,
music in
man."
that game, too.
I'd get so frustrated. Yeah.
Yeah. Dan, what are your top 3?
Okay, so my top 3 is Super Smash Brothers. Played that at my grandparents' with all of my cousins.
So
Absolutely
good.
loved it. Yeah. Don't remember
Get the
who I
bell
played
out of your
as.
hand. Get the
bell's
bell
out of my
your
hand. I'm sorry. I'm
You're
sorry.
such a
I
fidgeter.
am.
Get
Let's
you a
see.
fidget spinner.
I actually have one. I don't know where it's at though. I lost it.
All right. Anyway, moving on.
Ocarina of Time, Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. I love that one. It's
Great
a
game.
classic. It's probably the game where I first fell in love with the.
With Zelda.
Oh, a video game
Link?
character.
Yeah,
You fell in love with Link. Interesting.
but like as a bro, you know, like oh, what's up, bro?
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can all see that.
You had your socks on. It's
And
fine.
then, yeah, it's true. I always have them on. My third game,
That's funny.
Pokemon Stadium.
Ooh.
Yes.
Such a good game.
Yeah, I never did like any of the like story mode. I don't even know if there was one because I was so
I
little.
don't even know if there is one.
I would just
Honestly,
do
I
like
have no idea.
skirmishes, and I'm like, whoa, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that.
Dude, and I know I was terrible at that game too.
Yeah.
I was so bad.
I never
Man, I
want
to play that game now. No.
I always played my
man,
brothers,
it was
and we
fun.
always ended up picking like our 3 Pokemon were freaking always like Moltres, Articuno, and Zapdos. Like it was every single time. Like,
Mhm.
The strongest. The elites. Dude, that's a good game. I used to play that at he doesn't listen to I don't think he listens to this podcast. If he does, kudos to you. My friend John, I used to go to his house when I was like really young. I barely remember this, but we used to play Pokemon Stadium there. I didn't own Pokemon Stadium. At least I don't think we did. But I played at his house.
I also had Pokemon
Thanks, John.
Stadium Silver and Gold, which had like the second
Look at
generation
you.
Pokemon in it.
Wow. I
A
do
high
remember
class
the
citizen.
mini games. They had weird mini games too.
Yeah, yeah. It was like Mario
They were
Mario
I don't
Party.
remember
like,
so
games
weird.
that
Yeah.
were so dumb.
Classic.
But yeah, those I think my 3 favorites. I really only played like 3 or 4 Nintendo 64 games, so I need to get a new one and play it sometime.
They're only $200 on
I don't
eBay.
think they have. I don't think they have new Nintendo 64s.
Not with that attitude.
You're right. You know what they need to do though? You know how they came out with like those like mini Super Nintendos?
You mean the ones that I have in my gaming?
Yeah.
Nobody
Nerd
asked.
alert.
They actually, Nintendo did file for a patent on a Nintendo 64 Classic. So there are rumors that
Good.
it will come out here pretty soon. Maybe a
That'll
surprise
be-
holiday drop. People are speculating, but we'll see.
That'll be a hot ticket item for the holidays.
Yeah,
if it
I was
came out
working
in
at
the
Best Buy when
holidays.
the other two came out, and you couldn't find them,
Mm.
and people were selling them online for like $300. It was
Eesh.
crazy.
Because they were only like $80, right?
Yeah, it was like
In
one of
stores?
them was 60 and one of them was 80, and then
Yeah,
there was
that's so
selling
cool.
for like $300. And I was like, "Hey, warehouse guy, let me know when some of these come in, cause
Hit me
I
up.
need to jump on
Hide them
that."
behind a shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did that once. I did that with a. I think I did that with my. I have a Poe Dameron fighter pilot or X-wing pilot helmet,
Oh.
and it was like the last one, and it was super cheap, and I hid it like on a top shelf behind a bunch of stuff, and then came back for it. It worked. All right, my top 3. Well, we already know my first one. Number 1 top pick Nintendo 64 game for me, Star Fox 64. That game, I definitely was trash at it growing up.
Right.
I remember playing it and I honestly, I don't even know if I could get past like the second level or at least the third. But I remember watching my brothers play it all the time. And then I played it as an adult and became like, it's like my spirit left my body as I played. It was such a amazing experience. I am so good at this game. I like tooting my own horn. I am very good at this game. Brian said it at the beginning. I do have witnesses. I beat the first level with my eyes closed. No, I did not go through every single rock loop that leads you to the secret boss that goes through the waterfall with my eyes closed. That would be very difficult. But I do the regular version. Didn't score very high, but I did it.
That's okay.
I find that to be impressive.
It is.
It's the only game I can do that with.
I've heard some people say that you're the god of Star Fox.
Wow, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? That's
I won't-
crazy.
I won't name who those people are.
No, I'm not. I'm not that. I'm not that good.
Stop.
I mean, stop. It's whatever.
Stop.
I'm pretty good. There's like a secret. I don't know if I can't remember what it is. It's like a secret level or a secret something. Might even just be an achievement. But if you get a certain high score on every single level, then it unlocks it. And I'm like 3 levels away from it. I can't get past this one level though. It's killing me. But yeah, so that's my number 1 pick. I love that game with a passion. Second, I wouldn't say this is in order for this one, but Pokemon Snap is just one of those, like, I feel like it's one of those first chill games. You know, you're literally in like a mine cart, just slowly moving along some nice little landscape in the Pokemon realm, and you're just throwing fruit at them like apples
And
at their
taking
like
pictures.
heads or in front of them so they run to it and eat it, and you're taking pictures of Pokemon. And you just got some it's just good vibes all around. Great soundtrack. I don't know if it has a soundtrack, but it's got like a good song in it. Great game, fun game. I don't know. I like chill games where you can just kind of sit back and play and not worry about competing.
You heard it here
Sometimes.
first, folks. Logan's a casual gamer.
I'm a casual gamer.
No.
I'm not going to deny it. I am a casual gamer. I wouldn't say I'm a hardcore gamer.
I'm a casual gamer too.
I like to play games.
I guess I'd more
Yeah.
more define myself as a trophy hunter, but I'm pretty casual. I'm not huge
Yeah,
into
I
online
like
and competitive.
achievements. I freaking hate online because people piss me off. They're so good at the game,
And they're
and I
like
just yell at like, "Get a life,
12
bro!"
years
It's
old
so
and live in
rude,
Germany.
honestly.
Yeah, it's like, give me a chance to win, you little squirt.
Yep, that's what you wanted to
That's my
say.
nice way of saying it. Yep.
Mhm.
So my third one, I'm having a hard time trying to pick it. Um, I loved GoldenEye.
Mm.
I think that's one of, if you bring up Nintendo 64 to people, they're gonna think GoldenEye. That was such a good game, but I was never good at it, and I'm still not good at it. Um, at my brother's wedding, like I think it was a year ago, at his venue, like where they had the grooms people hang out, like the groomsmen
Yep,
and the
the
groom and stuff hang
groomsmen.
out. They had a Nintendo 64 in there, and they shut up, and they and they had they had the Nintendo 64 up there, and they had GoldenEye, and all my brothers were playing. I didn't want to play because I was trash. I knew I would be. I don't even know the controls of that game, but it was so fun. I love to watch it. But I will say, in place of that one, just because I didn't really play that one, the uh, the Star Wars pod racing game, which for people who don't know, and I just learned this today, it is called Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. It is not called pod racing. That is a thing I kind of feel cheated on because I always thought it was pod racing.
Okay,
But
is
it's not.
this the one where you go through races and you unlock different racers and different pods, or is it just playing
Yeah.
Anakin the whole time? Because if that's the case, I had that
No.
game on PC, and Sebulba pissed me off
No,
more than
so
anything.
this one is where you can unlock different pod racers and pods, and
Mhm.
you do different levels and stuff. And they actually released it for PlayStation
Hmm.
like this year. So for you PlayStation dudes, I'm jealous. I don't know. I don't think it's expensive. I don't know, but that is a game that they should remaster. And make it have better graphics. Just make the gameplay all around better. Maybe add a couple maps and some new racers. Give us the option to customize our own racer. That'd be one of those games that would be super fun for a remaster. For sure.
They relaunched it on the Nintendo Switch.
Yes, that too.
Ooh.
It was on PlayStation. I know it was on PlayStation.
Let's
Oh,
see.
do you?
Yes,
Yep,
because I'm pretty
platforms
sure
PlayStation 4.
one of my friends. Yeah,
Okay.
one of my
Good.
friends got it. So yeah, Dan the man.
Huh?
It was released in June of this year.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good thing that's happened this year. That's nice.
Yeah. I don't think anything else could ruin this year.
Yeah, exactly.
This year's been so good. Nothing bad has happened.
Bring it
all
on,
year.
universe.
Wow.
Come at me.
So many
oh.
issues.
I saw a post on Facebook by one of my friends, and he said, "This year hasn't been the same since Sonic flossed." And, I never saw the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, but I guess that happens, and I'm like, yeah, that seems like something that would make the universe hate us.
I just my favorite thing I've seen like meme is the one that says like this world hasn't been the same since Pokemon Go. Like the vibe of Pokemon Go went away.
It's
Mhm.
true.
Cause that summer with Pokemon Go, ever since then it just hasn't been
And
the same.
that game took the world by storm, man. Like there was
I still
nothing
play
like it.
dude.
It was. I play the Harry Potter version.
Mm.
It's a very
Oh
entertaining.
yeah, that was fun.
It's a good one.
That one is fun.
But I mean, I was still up in
I,
Idaho when that all happened, and I remember people just clustering in areas because there was a Pokestop there.
Dude.
Oh yeah,
Dan,
the gardens on
Me
campus.
and-
Dan and I on day one of its drop got in the Jeep with his roommate, and we like hopped
Oh,
trying to get to Pokestops.
Dude. Dude, me and
like,
my
"How do we
my
play?"
friend Nick, we were up till like 3 a.m. the first night it released.
Yeah.
We were up till like 3 a.m. and we borrowed some bikes of some people, and we rode around town, and we were like trying to catch like Pikachu, but we never got him. And then we carefully returned those bikes, just so everybody knows. One of those bikes though we knew was one of our roommates' bikes. One of those bikes.
Justified.
one of those bikes. It was a great. That was a great summer. Pokemon Go changed the world for like 3 months.
Yeah, it was
2
beautiful.
months.
Everyone was so friendly and happy. What team were you on?
Yeah.
I was yellow.
Yellow. I actually wore my.
I was
dude,
yellow.
Nice. I wore
Yeah.
my. Dude, nice. Dude, I wore my. I bought a back when it was big.
bought
That
a
summer.
hat?
I bought a. No, I bought a Team Yellow T-shirt
Nice.
with
Really?
the
Zapdos.
bird. I forgot. Yeah, Zapdos. I bought a shirt, so I wore it yesterday. That's cool.
No one is
Team
Team
Yellow.
Yellow. It's crazy.
What is it?
Everyone's red
Is that
and blue.
Instinct?
I can't remember.
I don't remember.
All I remember is that Zapdos was my favorite, and so that's why I picked yellow.
Yeah, I was pretty pumped.
I think also part of
Well,
it was
100%.
because in the area, no one was yellow, so I was like, "F it, I'm gonna go yellow."
Yeah.
No
give 'em-
one.
Give 'em-
Yeah,
give 'em
dude.
some yellows, yo, and then I just
Dude, it was so hard to win. You know, like where they had like the little areas where you could fight,
in
like
the gyms.
with your Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, the gyms.
Never won.
Yellow was never winning.
No.
Oh, it was so difficult.
No.
Oh, man.
Yellow
Good
will
time.
never.
Anyway.
Yellow never shined. You can still see people with like their decals on their car windows that have like the old decals. And stuff.
Representing. Yeah,
Wow, that was a sidetrack.
dude.
I-
That's a hardcore sidetrack.
enjoyed
But I
that.
do want to say, Pokemon just hasn't been the same since. This is a very sad note, so I got my sad voice going. Pokemon just hasn't been the same since like Game Boy, Nintendo 64. Really, since they released, I'm not a fan of the new generation Pokemon in any way. Just give me those original 50.
150.
Or 100, is it 150? Yeah, sorry. 150. Give me those and I'm set. And I need like what was that new game they came out with like this year or last year? What was that called?
Sword and Shield?
Yes, those. Those were dumb. I
never
didn't
played
play
them.
them. I watched people play them and I was like, dude, this game is so stupid. They like almost all the Pokemon weren't even like the original 150. It was
Yeah.
like all these random ones that is like they're like, okay, we're running out of Pokemon. Just put like a moose and a rabbit together, and we'll name it like
Moose Rabbit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
have a Pokemon on Pokemon Go, and his thing is he carries a log. Like, I think his like name has something to do with the log. I'm like,
that
alright, I guess
honestly doesn't surprise
the
me in any
Pokemon
way.
always do that.
I just don't like any of the like the original were just so good.
Yeah.
And they like keep trying to play into this new generation stuff, and I'm like, guys, stop.
I'm not
Just
gonna
do the
lie. Like the
throwbacks.
first Pokemon movie where you met Mewtwo, I freaking.
I saw that in
I
theaters.
I cried, man, when Ash.
If you
turns to
didn't
stone
cry, you're a
and
soulless human.
Pikachu just loses his freaking mind, dude. I wept like a
Dude.
little baby.
Yeah.
Dude,
Look at that
rough.
Pokemon. He's wearing a gi.
What the freak?
what the heck is
Yeah.
that?
His
His
name's
name's
Throw.
Throw.
Does he throw stuff?
He's fighting type.
I think okay. Let's rewind a bit. We'll do a whole episode
On
on how
Pokemon.
stupid new generation
Yes.
Pokemon is, or just in Pokemon in general.
This is where we get our
Uh,
ideas, folks.
Yeah, we need to. I'll write it down later. But Nintendo 64 really is a great console, and I think going back to them like re-releasing that or whatever, that would be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I would buy it, especially if
would.
it was affordable. You know, like the Super Nintendo one. I don't know, how did the Super Nintendo one work with the games? Are you able to get more games for it?
It's preloaded. So the SNES has a much. Oh, so okay, the NES and the SNES both have really good sets in them. Like it's the game. Like you aren't missing a classic game. Like there's
Right.
really not a game that you're like, oh, I wish this. There's maybe a few obscure ones, but then PlayStation tried to do a PlayStation Classic, and they didn't put any good games on it, and they flubbed
Shame.
hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, it has all. I mean, it had. I feel like the SNES has over like 20 games on it. Here, I have it right here next to me. I will find out.
Do it. Because I just mainly want to know because there's a lot of classics for Nintendo 64.
Mhm.
And I feel like that could be messed up pretty easy. You know, like if they don't put on certain games. Like if Star Fox not on there, I would lose it. I wouldn't buy it. That'd be it for me. Even though I own it right here and I have a Nintendo 64 with 2 controllers. If you want to come over and play later, I have 2 controllers, and I don't. Not all my games are 2-player, but I have 10 games, and I don't know how many, but I say probably 7 of them are multiplayer. So if you want to come over
To
later.
put you at rest, the SNES Classic has Star Fox 2, so they've already answered the original Star Fox. So they have the Star
Yeah.
Fox games on here, but the NES
Okay.
Classic has 30 games.
That's a lot.
And it looks like it's about the same amount for the SNES. It's just not numbered.
I think if they were to do it, games that would have to be on it: Star Fox, Donkey Kong 64, Mario 64, which we actually haven't mentioned. Great game, by the way.
There's only 19 on the SNES, but still.
I would say Zelda, but I feel like they have multiple games there, so it might be like, I don't know. They could do Zelda. I think it'd be cool if they did Zelda, and then Pokemon Snap, Pokemon Stadium,
Super Smash Brothers.
Super Smash Brothers. Yeah. What else? Pod racing would be cool, but I don't know if they would do that.
GoldenEye would have to be on there.
Oh,
GoldenEye, Cruisin' USA also, I think, was a great game for that.
I think
Diddy Kong
it would
Racing
really.
is-
Diddy Kong Racing would be cool to see
Diddy
on
Kong,
there.
Mario Party.
Mario Party 3. I think most of it would. It seems like most of them boil down to on these classics their top franchises. So Donkey Kong, Mario,
That's true.
Star Fox, Zelda. Like they seem to fall back pretty heavily on their main franchises, which is fine because those are the hot tickets. But then you have a few on here that are a little bit more obscure. Like you had Contra 3 on here, which a lot of people really liked. Earthbound, which had Ness. That's where Ness is from.
Oh.
Kirby games on here. Mega Man. You know, like so there are some really good ones. Punch Out was on in the Super Nintendo Classic, the original Punch Out. So I mean they have some really good games for sure that aren't just like Mario, you know.
Yeah. I would like it. How many Zelda games were there for Nintendo 64?
I think just 2.
Yeah, I think.
Was it just
Majora's
Ocarina of
Mask.
Time and Majora's Mask?
I think so.
I think so too, actually.
I feel like there's like 2 per generation. Well, there were some of the generations were out longer and had a lot of games, but
Right. Oh man, I love Nintendo 64. I love when it doesn't work and you gotta take out the cartridge, blow on it, and shove it in as hard as you can because that's the only way you're gonna get it to work. Yeah, dude, Nintendo 64, it's a classic. I feel bad for people who never really played Nintendo 64 either, you know? Makes
Yeah.
me sad. I don't know. Do you guys have anything else to say? I mean, there's a lot to say, but I feel like these are, with some of these games, we can, go down rabbit holes and have a whole episode on.
that's the thing. I think mainly the only thing that I have to say in parting is just like, this was my console as a kid. Teenage years was play PS2 and Xbox 360, but like as a kid in my formative years and like becoming a gamer, it was Nintendo 64. And
I agree.
it was great. I loved every minute of it, and there's only 2 games I don't like, and it's Banjo-Kazooie and Majora's Mask. Of course, I haven't played all of them, but the sequels on the 64 seem to struggle a little bit, but
Yeah.
but it was a good time all the way around for me.
Yeah, I'd say the only other one that kind of pushed me into gaming a bit more was GameCube,
Yeah.
as a child.
Mm-hmm.
But really, Nintendo 64, as a kid, like I said earlier, I didn't really play it a ton, but I loved to watch like my brothers play it because they were good. And but I would play it. I would always play it. I'd always sneak playing GoldenEye because my mom did not want us to play it, but we played it. Good thing she doesn't listen to this. She'd probably give me crap for that.
We need
But
to,
yeah,
we need to bring
I
back
loved
couch
it a
co-op,
lot.
man. That was the generation of 64. It was like
Mhm.
it's all about couch co-op. You didn't have online.
Yep.
You know, and I miss
The only
I miss that a
thing
lot.
I will say though, the only thing about that is like, I don't know, as an adult at least, you don't always live next to your friends, anymore, and so like doing a couch co-op is not as easy. I don't know. I've mainly been thinking about it because
I just
with
want it as
the
an option. Like,
Yeah.
right. Well, like with the new Tony Hawk, what are they? A remastered Tony Hawk 1 and 2 that just came out for new consoles, or not new consoles, but the consoles we have now. That has like split screen,
Ooh.
local multiplayer. So that's cool. I do like that, but it's just at the same time, it's like I don't really have friends come over and play games like that with me. But I do understand. I understand where you're coming from. But yeah. Dan, any last words? Any
Poopy.
last words, punk?
Poopy.
Shapoopy. Did you just watch The Music Man?
No. Oh.
Anybody get that? Because that's what that's from.
Shapoopy.
Nah, it's from
Shapoopy.
Family
The girl
Guy
who's
for
hard to
me.
get.
Da-na-da-da-da-da. It's not from Family Guy.
It's
For
from-
me, it is.
Family Guy knocked it off from Music
For
Man.
me, it is.
It's Dan's truth, Logan. You gotta let him have it.
Yeah,
All
respect
right,
my
all right.
truth.
All right. Well, I do want to say before we sign off, we have a lot more organized plan for our episodes. We have, we're planning for like the future episodes as well, which is going to help us prepare more, which hopefully brings better episodes. Not saying our episodes before were bad, but I think it would just be a lot easier for us and for you guys as well. We are also planning on doing what's next week? Next week's trivia, right?
Yeah.
Harry Potter trivia.
Yep.
That's gonna be fun. So get your knowledge buckets ready because we're gonna be doing some Harry Potter trivia. We're not sure specifically what on yet. We're gonna decide the day of.
We will let you know.
Next week,
We'll let
get
you
ready
know
for
when we
that.
start the episode. It will probably be a quiz from Pottermore. But we'll let you know at the beginning of the episode, and then we encourage you guys, and we'll remind you again to go and do the quiz yourself and see what score you got. We're gonna try to do not multiple choice, and we'll talk about it more what we're gonna do specifically. But we're gonna try to test our nerd steel and see who comes out on top. So
Yes. It's going to be so good. But yeah, thank you again for listening to the podcast.
As always.
As always, Dan, you have such a good... Dan, you do this sign off. You have a good radio voice.
Okay, thank you for coming to my party. We're
stop.
going to have multiplayer again next week, so thank you.
Okay, find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that good stuff. We have a Discord, Council of Nerds Discord. Get your friends involved. We're going to try to get more guests on to try to not only widen our viewer base, but to expose our viewers who are listening now to some other podcasts that are out there. So hopefully we can get that rolling. But thanks for listening, and we will catch you guys in the next episode.
Farewell. Bye.
Goodbye. Oh, I forgot to stop recording.
The Council of Nerds.